All right, so my name is Alexandre Bergeron. I work as a software engineer at Periscope Data, and right now I live in Oakland, California, just across the bay. I recently started at Periscope Data, and so right now we are building a platform for data analysts to allow them to build charts and dashboards using SQL and to run it fast and to ensure that our application continues to scale for our users. And right now I'm responsible for tasks that allows allows our customers to just onboard a ton more users on the application, and that's exciting. Right now, I would say that I've spent a lot of time following the programming track. I've been following Scala for a long time, so there's a lot of these talks that appeal to me personally. I feel like also that the architecture track is also a pretty important interest to me to see how we could grow a software at a company, regardless of the technology stack that we're using, and how to evolve the technology stack depending on the challenges that we're facing right now. From my point of view, I believe it's very important for a company that decides to adopt technologies to really learn what are the best practices in that given technology, how different companies are using the same technologies to become productive, how to ensure that engineers that are familiar with these technologies, once they're onboarded on your code base, know how to be onboarded quickly and from day one being productive and being able to improve the situation. And also I think it's really important to really be aware of what is happening in the industry at large to know how to evolve an architecture, because it's pretty easy to just stick with what we know. But like if I were to pick what I know for front-end development, then we'd probably end up with something very old and deprecated that no one really knows how to do anymore. So it's important to keep oneself really up to date, regardless of our weak spots. I'm always excited to see how the larger functional programming community is developing, how all of these libraries are emerging, reemerging, what new and old ideas are reappearing. I'm definitely I've done Scala for a long time, so every time I'm seeing a talk that is very technical, very deep into category theory, but explains it in an elegant way and helps people understand why functional programmers care so much about understanding category theory. For me, that's always very exciting. That's kind of an interesting question. So for the past 6 years, Scala has been the primary programming language for me, and I recently started at a company that, at least for now, is not using Scala, and I continue to be deeply fascinated by Scala because of all of the time and investment that I've made into becoming a better Scala engineers. And I'm definitely excited to see that there's a lot of the ideas that Scala brought forward that are picking up on other languages. I'm thinking of Rust as an example that brings a lot of these functional concepts, a lot of these ideas of composition closer to low-level system programming. I'm thinking about how Java finally adopted a lot of an option type, and some constructs that are friendlier for functional programming at least. And I definitely hope that Scala will not only continue to strengthen its identity and become a much more simpler but even more powerful language with Scala 3, but that it continues to inspire other languages to evolve in a way that empowers people to easily write safe and secure and correct programs. Something that really impressed me was, I think it's Brian Cantrell's talk on Rust in systems programming yesterday. I've definitely been pretty curious about Rust for a while, and I've never really took the time to learn it. But seeing how well the values behind Rust aligns with what people hope that their systems and operating systems and their processors and all of the hardware and all of the lower level stuff that us engineers, software engineers, depend upon. That compatibility field is really interesting, and I hope that it will help us trust our systems a lot more.